The Premier League is back and it starts tonight at the Emirates. It's champions versus champions, Arsenal versus Coventry City. Hello everyone, welcome to North London, and it is the champions of the Championship last season, Frank Lampard's Coventry, coming to the Emirates to face the champions of the Premier League last season, Arsenal, and Mikel Arteta, hoping to go back-to-back for the season. USN's Premier League coverage begins tonight. Good afternoon, good evening, hello, wherever you are around the world, from the Emirates Stadium in North London, although that graphic is wrong. We are at the Emirates Stadium. Ignore the graphic at the bottom of the screen. Arsenal against Coventry City then in the Premier League. We are moments away from kickoff. Let's do you a quick lineup run through. We'll do a bit more of a Premier League preview at half time. Here are the lineups. Thank you, JT. David Raya is in goal for Arsenal. It's Calafiore, Gabriel, Mosquera and Ben White across the back. 4 for the champions. Miles Lewis-Skelly, Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard are across the middle. Christian Solis, who was very influential in their Community Shield win in Cardiff last weekend against Manchester City, starts on the left-hand side of a front three. Bukayo Saka came off the bench in that game, and he joins Kai Havertz, who did get amongst the goals last weekend. For Coventry, Kyle Rushworth, will be their goalkeeper. He was on loan from Brighton last season. They have made him a permanent signing going into this, and they will play a 4-3-3 lineup today. Milan Van Ewijk, Bobby Thomas, Aurelio Armenda, and Jay De Silva across the back four. Frank Onyeka, Caleb Urinicki, and Matt Grimes in the middle. And it's Brandon Thomas Asante, Ellis Sims, and Lut Chamona across the front three for the visitors. We are at the Emirates Stadium. We are ready to go for the 2026-2027 season in the Premier League. Arsenal, the defending champions. A sentence we have not heard for a very, very long time. But after their win last season, holding off all comers, odds on, pretty much you would think, to do the same again this season with, quite bizarrely, the longest serving manager in the Premier League at the moment is their one, and that is Mikel Arteta. We're underway in the Premier League for 2026-27. Coventry back in the Premier League for the first time since 2001, when 3 of their starting lineup today were not even born. But we are underway, and Coventry in the blue and white stripes going from right to left, and chance already early down the left-hand side for them from Asante, and it was blocked out by Gabriel, the Brazilian centre-back for Arsenal, and Coventry have a corner inside the first half minute here in North London. Coventry City looking more like Sheffield Wednesday in the stripes tonight, but they are the visitors, and they scored the most goals from set pieces in the Championship last season, as Arsenal did in the Premier League. This one isn't a great corner. It's headed away by Calafiore at the second attempt. Coventry will get a back hold of the ball. Here is Asante. He's trying to skip away from Odegaard on the edge of the Arsenal box, and Declan Rice will come away with it. Solis, nice ball inside towards Miles Skelly, and Calafiore taking over for the champions, who missing Saliba, of course, at the back for them. Injured during the World Cup. He won't be back till Christmas. They've got Mosquera in there again, along with Gabriel today, as it was at the weekend. They just presented England centre-back Ezri Konsa on the field just before the kickoff. He signed for Aston Villa. That deal weren't going through this morning, but too late to be eligible to play today. So we should see Konsa more than likely next weekend. Here come Arsenal down the left-hand side with Solis. He comes inside and finds Ben White in the centre. All of Coventry back behind the ball at the moment. White for Arsenal. Here's Saka on the near side touchline, getting his first touch of the season in a competitive fixture. Of course, he came off the bench against Manchester City in Arsenal's 3-0 win in Cardiff last Sunday. Declan Rice for Arsenal on the centre line. It goes down the left-hand side with Calafiore, who got the goal that kicked Arsenal's win off last weekend. He gives it away briefly, though, Declan Rice with an intervening header. Coventry still have the ball coming forward down this near side. And it goes back to the across them back and now across the defensive line of Coventry, all the back to Rushworth in the centre of his penalty area, and he clears long, looking for Ellis Sims, who gets the header on. Asante picking it up, but he's been robbed off it by Calafiore. Odegaard, the Arsenal captain, looking to start the quest to lift the Premier League Championship as he did not that long ago, it feels like, in May. Of course, a prominent role for Norway during the World Cup, and now back on familiar ground here at the Emirates. Ben White for Arsenal on the halfway line on this right-hand side, and Arsenal will just keep possession here, try and ping this around their penalty box. Ball forward towards Solis, but it's been headed clear, and Coventry will try and come away with it on the right-hand side. And they will keep some nice possession here across the back line. Some new names to conjure with for sort of Premier League fans generally. Coventry not been in the top flight since 2001. Arsenal beat them at the old Highfield Road a couple of weeks before the end of that season. The last time these two met in the league was 2001. Ball forward. And down the right-hand side, here's Asante right on the touchline for Coventry City. Left-footed ball across, cut out by Saka on the edge of his own box, and Arsenal will try and spring clear here with Odegaard. Got some options in front of him, has to check himself at the halfway line. And goes wide to Solis, the number 17, running at Van Ekwa, into the penalty area, tries to get onto the right foot, still chance to get onto the right foot, and his shot is across the face of goal and out for a goal kick on the near side. First side to goal for Arsenal, just under 5 minutes played, and it was Christian Solis who got 2 assists at the weekend and was very influential part of Arsenal's Community Shield win, for which they have already got the graphic on the terrace here, where they have the trophies in the years all the way around the ribbon of the stadium. It's been added this week. It's that trophy pickup, and of course the first Premier League game here with the Premier League trophy up there against 2026 as well. Bit of a mistake in midfield from Coventry. Here's Saka for Arsenal, edge of the penalty area. Chance to try and get a shot away left-footed. It was blocked down, and eventually he's run off the ball. And Coventry will try and come away with it, looking for Sims up the middle. But Mosquera there to rob him. And here's Miles Lewis-Skelly, who's been the subject of some transfer speculation over the summer. But started at the weekend and starts again tonight. Saka for Arsenal, down the right-hand channel. Rice, Lewis-Skelly again. Back to Declan Rice, Odegaard. Chance for him to perhaps put a cross in. No, goes more central. Skelly, Rice. And here's Ben White up the side from the right back position. Back with Lewis-Skelly for Arsenal. Rice plays a nice ball around the corner. Solis has come the other side, gets his right-footed cross in towards Saka. Oh, and a shot was charged down. He wants a corner. I think he might have got it. It was Amenda that got there for Coventry, that charged down Bukayo Saka, who found himself central. Nice little ball around the corner from Rice to Solis. A little bit of miscontrol, really, from Saka in the end. But his poked shot was blocked by the Coventry defender. So Arsenal's first corner of the season comes on 7 minutes. We know how important set-piece goals were to them last season. Changing the rules for set-pieces, of course, in the Premier League, picking up from what we saw in the World Cup. No more wrestling going on inside the penalty area. Saka, though, goes short this time, gets it back, and goes short again in towards Ben White. And to the edge of the penalty area, Solis, left-footed shot was skewing towards the far corner, but it's cleared away. Asante for Coventry on the right-hand touchline, up against Gabriel. Solis came in to help his Arsenal teammate out. Appeals for handball from the Arsenal players. Coventry will clear, and only out for a throw-in of about halfway. Solis again in the middle of that one. The chance that created the corner, and his shot in the end, as we're seeing now in replay, perhaps was going in. Arsenal still have it. Here is Odegaard. Try to ping one in towards Saka into the penalty area, but it's cut out. And in fact, it's a flag up anyway for offside against the Arsenal man. Of course, welcome your comments in the comment section if you're watching along live. Thoughts on this one, thoughts on the season as we go on. This is the first of 4 Premier League games we will bring you on the Ultimate Sports Network over this weekend. More on that at half-time, and we've had a game from La Liga as well on tomorrow evening, and of course NASCAR and IndyCar on Sunday too. Here's Solis running down for Arsenal. Calafiore, Havertz, in fact, sorry, that's gone wide left. Here's Rice, chance to shoot, opens up from about 25 yards out, but he blazes over. And no worry there for Carl Rushworth in the Coventry goal. Good move down the left-hand side. Rice had space, chance to shoot, and just couldn't keep it down. And over the bar it went. 4 shots already for Arsenal inside the first 10 minutes, showing their intent. And this homecoming for the champions. And they'll have a throw deep inside their own territory here on this near side. Gone back to David Raya, who clears right-footed, but it's not the greatest of clearances. That might spin out. No, it's kept in by the headed De Silva towards Rice. De Silva's got it back again, the number 3 for Coventry, running down this left-hand side. Just to check himself and go back. And across the back, or across the midfield for Coventry, it goes all the way over to the right-hand channel. It's gone all the way back, in fact, to Rushworth in the Coventry goal. Long ball forward towards Asante, but that's gone through and out. And Arsenal will get it back forward again. Here's Odegaard. Saka. In towards the penalty area he drives, and again, charged down by De Silva. The ball spins out. Secondary corner for Arsenal of the game. As I said, this is the first of 4 Premier League games on the network this weekend. If you like what you see, and more importantly, what you hear, as we always say, hit subscribe, hit the like button, get involved over the weekend. We want to hear from you. 1 game every day this weekend, 1 game tomorrow tomorrow afternoon. Big game on Sunday, Liverpool, Newcastle, more on that later. And Chelsea on Monday night. Arsenal's second corner of the game, 11 minutes played. 25 goals from set pieces last season. The average in the Premier League was 14. That's why they were called Set Piece FC by some of the fans over the season, and it floats in towards the middle, and Rushworth with a good grab. That'll be a confidence builder for him. In front of the big away support, actually, in the far corner for Coventry. They've brought a lot. Long ball forward, free kick at the halfway line as Asante was fouled. Coventry's first home game back in the Premier League is next weekend, where they will welcome Hull City, playoff winners from the Championship last season. Hull play in the lunchtime kick-off tomorrow. They're at home to Manchester United. That's the next Premier League game, of course, being that's the 12:30. See if another of the promoted teams can get off to what start they can get off to in their welcome back to the Premier League. Been a while for Hull, not as long for Coventry, 24 years, and here they come forward in the centre. To Santa, I believe that was with a shot that was charged down. They still have possession back at the halfway line with Almeida, now De Silva, diminutive number 3 on this far side. Goes back central again. And all the way out to the right-hand side this time. Good piece of possession this from Coventry. Ball's on the right-hand touchline. And now it's gone back into the centre again as they try and work some angles. 13 minutes played here in North London. 0-0, as you can see on screen. Couple of chances for Arsenal in the first quarter hour. But, nothing too spectacular. Rushworth hasn't really had to make a save yet for the visitors. He clears left-footed long. Headed back forward by Solis looking for Havertz, but that's going to spin out for a Coventry throw. Van Ewijk will take. He goes long from the halfway line, looking towards Asante, who got a head to it. He tried to nod it down towards Sims. There's a bit of a wrestle there, and Arsenal, in fact, have won a free kick. Gabriel knocked to the ground by Ellis Sims, who has a Premier League goal to his name a couple of seasons ago while at Everton against Chelsea. He'll be looking to add to that leading the line for Coventry City this season. Here's Lewis Skelly for Arsenal. And now Declan Rice. Ben White now on this near side. So Arsenal try and work an angle from the back with Mosquera. And White going long. Looking for Solis. And Van Ewijk got there. Couldn't keep him away. Calafiori has bounced back to Havertz on the edge of the penalty area, and there is the opening goal of the season, and it's the German Kai Havertz, left-footed from 18 yards out or so, that puts the champions in front. Well, we said it was coming, and a little bit of a mistake on the right-hand side in pressure from Milan Van Ewijk against Solis. The ball fell to Calafiori. He tucked it across, and Kai Havertz was there to open the scoring. The man that scored in the Champions League final, of course, before Arsenal went down against PSG last season, has opened the scoring for them here in the Premier League. Getting a replay now. Was pressured into losing possession was Van Ewijk. It came to Calafiori, and no one was picking up Havertz on the edge of the area. And he sweeps home left-footed to put Arsenal in front on quarter of an hour. Nothing Rushworth could do about that one. It swung away. Nestled nicely in the goalkeeper's left-hand corner. Arsenal 1, Coventry 0 on 15 minutes. Relieved look on the face of Mikel Arteta. And Arsenal are in front. Back underway. Coventry in possession. Rushworth clearing long out of his own penalty area. It's going to go all the way through keeper to keeper and go through to David Raya. Confirmation from our man behind the scenes, JT. Thank you for that. 1-0. Arsenal in front here at the Emirates. They have a free kick as well in the centre circle, which Miles Lewis Skelly will take. We'll get to some of your comments and whatnot in a moment. No hydration breaks in the games, of course, in the Premier League, which was a great time to get a look at comments during the World Cup. We'll try and squeeze them in when we can and have a bit of back and forth with you during the half-time, perhaps. Here's Rice, edge of the area for Arsenal. Thought Solis was going to wind up for a shot there. It is Rice. He's flicked it over the top. It's Havertz back into the centre and cleared away. only as far as Calafiore. Havertz was offside as the ball came back forward, and that'll be a Coventry free kick. See if I can get the technology to work for you. Mr. Owens, hello everyone. Happy Premier League season to you all, and Seth as well. Happy Premier League season to you, both of you gentlemen, and you'll hear both of them across the weekend here on the network throughout the season, and of course this next couple of days, especially as domestic football in England. I know we started with the Community Shield last Sunday and the Championship, and the week before that the Carabao Cup first round, but properly starts this weekend with the Premier League getting underway. Here is Ben White for Arsenal on this near side touchline on centre line. Lewis Skelly. Halfway is the word I was searching for and couldn't find when I had to go to centre line. It's been a while. Here is Rice. Everyone for Coventry back behind the ball again here. Mosquera, the Spaniard. Lewis Skelly trying to pick his way forward. Good night. It's touched on by Calafiore. Odegaard's ball into the box. Havertz was marshalled by two Coventry centre-backs, and the ball spins through to Rushworth in the Coventry City goal. And he clears long down this near side. Flicked on. Here's Ellis Sims, edge of the penalty area for Coventry. Couldn't control it. Gabriel got across and won the ball and has gone down and stayed down. And that's a worry for Arsenal, and he is hurt. They've already lost Saliba. We know he's out till probably Christmas-ish. And now, in the opening throes of the opening game of the season, Gabriel might have a problem here as well. Back on his feet, but doesn't look like he can put too much pressure on the left ankle. Having a discussion with the referee. Was a clash of feet there between Sims and Gabriel as the Brazilian came across to make the intervening challenge. 20 minutes played at the Emirates. Arsenal a goal to the good. Kai Havertz on the score sheet 15 minutes into the game. Arsenal yet to be troubled defensively, and already looking very much in control. This the random fixture list generator, which does seem to more than often have the Premier League champions against the Championship champions. It's random, don't you know? As the opening game of the season. It's happened a fair few times in the last few years, and there's always the pull for the Friday night football on the opening weekend of the season. Here is Solis for Arsenal on the left-hand side, cutting in, trying to make something happen in the middle, finds Declan Rice. He comes across to Bukayo Saka. Chance to run at De Silva again. Wiggles and turning this way and that towards the edge of the box. White, Odegaard, back to the edge of the penalty area. Lewis Skelly, Calafiore. It's gone all the way across the edge of the D, and Havertz is going to be adjudged to have fouled. I think it was Grimes back there who's gone down for Coventry. Free kick. Big discussion here between Mikel Arteta on the bench and former Manchester United left-back, now part of the Arsenal setup, Gabriel Heinze, down there, which I did not know was a thing. I'm not supposed to show our bias on the network, but he was a very, very good player for United back in the day, about 15 years ago. Arsenal pouring forward here with Rice, who's got time to run in towards the D, edge of the box. Plays a nice ball off towards Solis into the middle. Oh, Rushworth got a hand on it, couldn't keep it away. And it falls to Bukayo Saka, who sweeps in. And it is 2-0 to the Gunners. New haircut, Same old story. Bukayo Saka on the score sheet for Arsenal. They just chopped Coventry in half. Odegaard and Rice in the middle. And Bukayo Saka, hat-trick in the World Cup for England on the score sheet for Arsenal on the opening day of the season. And Coventry City's players looking perplexed at each other on the field as Arsenal take a 2-0 lead. Sims is headed down for Coventry from the long ball forward. It was picked up by Rice. He found Odegaard. It came back to Rice, ran towards the edge of the D. Nice ball off towards Solis. Goalkeeper probably didn't need to come out, maybe, in between his two centre-backs. Got a left hand to the cross, and it just fell into the lap of Bukayo Saka at the back post to tuck in. He just checked his run nicely. 2-0 Arsenal, 23 minutes played. More fist pumping going on from Mikel Arteta and the Arsenal team on the bench. Starting how they finished, you could say, here in North London. Quarter of the game gone, and they are 2 to the good. Not been made of the signings that Arsenal have made over the summer, but it's 2 of their old guard that have got them into this position. Of course, Bruno Guimaraes was their sort of big signing over the summer from Newcastle, but he picked up a knock in training this week, which is why he's not even in the squad today, not even on the bench for Arsenal, so he's missing. But they have, as I say, kicked on here from how they finished last season. A lot of people have got Arsenal winning this league by a comfortable margin, and they're showing their class here in the early stages of the first 25 minutes of 38 games this season, but they're looking pretty good. Here's Miles Lewis-Skelly. Declan Rice inside his own half, trying to look forward, and plays a nice ball over the top for Ben White to run onto into the channel. He goes down, looking towards the linesman. He kept his flag down, and now he's got it up because it's going to be a Coventry throw in. Right down by the edge of the penalty area. It's pumped forward towards Sims. Gabriel coming out of defence, got the header in. He looks to be okay after his knock a little while ago. Confusion here in midfield. Saka comes away with it, no free kick. Ben White's challenge on Asante. And Coventry have a free kick inside their own half. But a chance to get out here and see if they can ease the pressure on their defenders. Yeah, sorry, that was very loud. Ball forward. Oh, and it spun towards Sims there on the secondary attempt, but everyone watched it go through, and Arsenal have possession again. Lewis-Skelly for them. And here's Rice. Havertz on the halfway line on this near side touchline. Goes back in central towards Odegaard. He tried to find Saka. Ball will ricochet back into the middle of the field. Miles Skelly picks it up for Arsenal. He's then fouled. And we should see, by the looks of things, yes, our first yellow card of the season. It goes the way of Caleb Uraniki, the number 8 for Coventry. So a chance here for a ball in for an Arsenal set piece. Another goal here inside the first half an hour would put this game to bed, you would say. What can they do with it? I think it's going to be Gabriel. That's Odegaard to take. It looked like it was going to be Gabriel. Odegaard to take. He goes out to the far side towards Calafiore. Ball rolled in towards Havertz. Defender on the floor goes down. And Coventry have a free kick inside their own penalty area. "27 minutes played. Kai Havertz and Bukayo Saka the goal scorers for Arsenal inside the first 20 minutes or so of the Premier League season to get them off and running. Is Calafiore heading clear on the edge of his own box. Coventry trying to make something happen down the right-hand side. It's pumped forward by Gabriel. Uriniki. Now Asante out on the far side. Chance to see if he can swing one in left-footed. It's charged down by Calafiore. He keeps tracking him back. And they'll play backwards again. Here's Matt Grimes. Trying to use a bit of a triangle, and Arsenal have robbed it. Havertz, Odegaard on halfway, streaming forward. Arsenal players streaming forward, Coventry players streaming back, and Odegaard miscontrols and gives up possession. Long ball forward, and here's a chance now perhaps for Coventry with Asante into the centre, and he skips away from White, but Mosquera was there to pick it up. And then there's a foul on Saka by Chinula, and it's an Arsenal free kick. Solis on the halfway line, far side, running forward, plenty of space for him to do so. The number 17 keeps going into the penalty area, pulls it back. Calafiore missed touch first time, comes to Odegaard. He tries to flick it over the top inside the penalty area towards Havertz. Coventry clear. And in fact, there was an offside anyway against Kai Havertz. Hello to Pierre. He's in the comments. Good afternoon to you. Another of our Premier League contributors you'll probably hear on across the airwaves throughout the season. We'll do a bit of more on the Premier League as a whole at half time. Once we get there, which is only 15 minutes away, half an hour gone. Arsenal 2 to the good. David Raya has it for Arsenal, and he will clear long, move across the field in a way, but he's found Calafiore nevertheless. Lewis Skelly now. He gets it back from Mosquera. Rice, right on centre field. Nice ball forward across to the left-hand side. Solis, chance again to run at the Coventry players. Goes back to Declan Rice. He'll put a right-footed cross ball in towards the edge of the penalty area towards Saka. It was headed clear. White. Now Odegaard running across field. Stops, checks, finds Lewis Skelly. White again in the right back position. And again from Havertz, who's come out of the box. No one right in the centre here for Arsenal. Odegaard has it now. Havertz, deep. Going back, Coventry, nice press up to get them away from the edge of the box momentarily. Here's Saka. Has options, finds Rice. Odegaard, White, Saka then. Nice movement here from Arsenal, but they're not really finding too much of a way through. Saka now tries to turn the speed up. Odegaard now. And White. And Odegaard again on this right-hand side. Everyone back behind the ball again for Coventry City. And it's gone all the way across to the left-hand side for Arsenal with Calafiore. In fact, now it's back inside their own half. Good defensive stanza there from the Sky Blues. Rice on halfway, goes forward, finds Saka, gets it back. And again, it goes back to Mosquera. You probably thought he was going to get a bit of run in the team to start the season after Saliba's injury, but with Andrew Konza signing today. His place might be under threat quite early on, and perhaps he's placing a lot of people's fantasy teams quite be under threat because he was fairly cheap for an Arsenal defender and he was going to play, but he may not now. He's not in my team anyway. Here is Mascara. Still on the halfway line. Coventry having a good spell here of keeping Arsenal at bay at 2-0 down. Miles Skelly with a left-footed ball across field finds Saka. De Silva out to meet him. Saka running at him towards the edge of the box. White lets it run. Odegaard. Here's Ben White. Left-footed shot blocked and scrambled away by De Silva. Not sure White really realised it was going to come back to him there, but Coventry clear. Here is White again. Right down by the corner flag. His cross spins up in the air off the defender and Rushworth with an easy grab. And he's got it away quickly. Here's Asante. And he's played the ball around the corner towards Sims, edge of the box, up against Gabriel. Ellis Sims down to this left-hand corner, wriggling away, and then goes down on the edge of the box and wins Coventry City a free kick. Well, Gabriel's not sure, and I think he might be being carded there as we cut to the replay. I'm not even sure it was a foul. He does have his arm round him, I suppose. And a yellow card. A wry smile from Gabriel. Frank Lampard, arms in the air just before the decision was given. I wonder what he's made of his first 35 minutes as a Coventry City Premier League manager. Chance for his team to perhaps pull one back here. 10 minutes or so to play in the first half. Grimes will take this free kick. It is left side of the penalty area, about a yard outside the box, about in line with the 6-yard line for reference. Everyone back for Arsenal. Grimes with it. Oh, headed up and away. There was a chance for someone coming around the back for Coventry. Didn't quite see who it was. Arsenal clear all the way through to Rushworth, who goes back forward out of his own goal. And the ball is now with Miles Lewis Skelly on halfway for Arsenal, trying to spin away. Havertz, Solis, he's taken down, and Arsenal will have a free kick. Milan Van Eyck on the spot there, the right back with a challenge. Not sure he's not sure what he did wrong. And Christian Solis will pick himself up. And Arsenal will have a free kick. Chance there of Solis perhaps caught Coventry City play just before that, which maybe they thought should have been a free kick going the other way. But Arsenal have the set piece here. Lots of stuff going on between the guys in the comments section. Thank you for that. Again, remember, if you like what you have seen, and more importantly, what you've heard, more Premier League action coming your way this weekend, like and subscribe to the channel. The more you like and subscribe, the more games that we will do. Here is Saka on this near side, up against De Silva again. In fact, it's Sims back there to help out, and he's got away from him, stayed on his feet. Saka wins a corner, does he? Yes, ball spins out. The Arsenal corner off Sims. Back there to help out in a defensive position. Went down Saka, but it wouldn't have been a penalty. Got back to his feet. And out for an Arsenal corner in this corner of the ground, for which Bukayo Saka is getting a warm reception, of course, down there from the Arsenal faithful. This right-hand end of the ground. Saka will take the corner. Everyone marked at the back post for Arsenal. They'll move forward now. We saw them doing that at the weekend, and right into the 6-yard area and cleared away. Not far, only as far as Saka. Odegaard on the corner of the box. Left-footed cross deep, headed clear. Only as far as Solis out by the other corner flag on the far side. And he will wriggle away to try and find a cross inside the box. He picks one out towards Havertz. It's cleared away again. by Coventry heads. It's just going to keep coming back at them. Christian Solis again driving into the left-hand channel. Again checked back. Edge of the penalty area. Odegaard and Calafiori got in each other's way. Calafiori's shot was blocked. Lewis Skelly now. Solis, again, edge of the penalty area, driving in, gets his left-footed cross in, and comes off Grimes, off the hip of Grimes, and then I think it was Asante trying to get clear, was fouled by Declan Rice. And Coventry will have a bit of a reprieve after that mass action there from the Arsenal forward play. Declan Rice particularly furious at someone as he walks away from giving away the free kick. That's the shot from before from Calafiori. Were they claiming for an arm? Well, Van Eyck turned away from the ball. Kind of looked like it hit him just sort of below the back of the shoulder on the collarbone area. Wasn't a massive appeal for many Arsenal players. And no penalty or any other given. JT working his magic behind the scenes. If you're watching as well as listening, you can see the rest of the games we've got coming up for you throughout the weekend. I said it was 4 games. It's actually a slate of 5 matches from the Premier League throughout, and a La Liga game. We'll get to all of those, plus some other news and notes at half time. Here is Mosquera. Oh, no, it's Lewis Skelly, sorry, for Arsenal. Drop back into the centre-back position for the moment. Ben White's gone forward. Mosquera's come across to this right-hand side. Right-back position here is Mosquera. Now he's played forward to Saka, who's got White in front of him. Saka up against Asante, right at the feet of Frank Lampard in the Coventry technical area. 6 minutes to play plus any stoppage time here in North London. Rice. Odegaard around the corner, finds Havertz, but only on the halfway line. Kai Havertz going deep. Gabriel tries one over the top, cleared away by Grimes. Coventry streaming forward, three of them on the left-hand side. But Arsenal see it off, and they will have to try and rebuild again from the back here. Arsenal so quick to get out when the ball goes back into the Coventry half. They're so quick, Arsenal, to get out and try and get their shape back. Ball forward on the right-hand side has gone out for an Arsenal throw. Sky running almost the same graphic as us. So I can tell you that tomorrow is Brentford against Spurs in the Saturday night late game for us here in the UK, 12:30 Eastern time at kickoff. Another of the London matches, Manchester City against Bournemouth on Sunday morning. Then the biggest game of the weekend, probably on paper, the Kevin Keegan Memorial game, as it's turned out to be, God rest him. Newcastle United against Liverpool at St James's on Super Sunday. And then action again from the Riverbank in London. It's Fulham against Chelsea on the Monday Night Football. Coventry in possession just inside the Arsenal half. Grimes going forward on the right-hand side, but Arsenal continue to keep the shape and keep Arsenal back. Arsenal keeping Coventry back. De Silva. Here's Asante for Coventry. Sliding one in towards Sims, edge of the D. Plays it back. It's Van Eyck now on the other side. Still can't find an angle for a shot here, Coventry. De Silva has it now. He's got a cross in. It's towards Sims, headed away by Solis. And a looping effort there, which had Raya scrambling. But, over the crossbar. It was a decent effort from, it was the number 18 for Coventry over the top, and Raya scrambling, but was fairly secure, hand up against the crossbar as the ball floated over his head. Closest Coventry have come in this first half to finding a breakthrough. Raya with the long ball forward, Havertz flicking it on, but there's no one running by him, and that's going to scoot through to Carl Rushworth in the Coventry goal. Odd to see a goalkeeper wearing 19. He clears left-footed long, and Arsenal will have it back again. A couple of minutes to play. No threat really from Coventry going forward, you have to say. This is another goal in the early portion of the second half, if not one here before half-time, would put this one to bed very early in the day. Solace for Arsenal, finds Lewis Skelly just inside the Coventry half. Rice taking over. Had an option to go left towards Solace, checks back, finds White, 20 yards out. Here's Saka in the right wing position. Chance for a left-footed cross maybe, up against De Silva again. He plays it short. Rice's cross towards the back post headed clear, and then helped away. Coventry trying to get out quickly here on the right-hand side. But they are pegged back quickly by the Arsenal defenders. Long ball forward from Matty Grimes, but that's to nobody. Only David Raya, who comes to collect just outside his penalty box. If you're watching on, think about for half-time. We'll take some of your predictions for the season in the comment section, as this opening game of the league season whets the appetite somewhat for this perhaps pretty open Premier League season this season, although, as we said at the top of the show, Arsenal look like the favourites and they're looking very good tonight. Here's Solace, edge of the Coventry penalty area, running across. Is that going to be a free kick? Everyone stopped and thought they would have it. Here's Odegaard, though. Chance for a cross. Cleared away, corner. Yeah, Solace looked like he was fouled there on the edge of the D. Referee waved it away. Didn't do anything, and everyone stopped expecting a free kick to be given there for the challenge. It was Iraninki, the number 8, who's of course been booked. Solace back on his feet. Arsenal will have the corner here to finish off the first half, of which we will have 2 minutes of stoppage time. As you can see on screen, thank you, JT. Saka will go short with this corner. He finds Odegaard, who gives it back to him. And Odegaard again. Chance for a left-footed shot, and it was through the crowd. It got a deflection. I think it was off Calafiori, but Arsenal are going to get a corner out of it. Well, that came off Calafiori myself, but maybe not. It was off De Silva, the heel of the Coventry left-back. Odegaard shouting the instruction towards Saka, who will take this corner. Probably some coded messages going on somewhere in there. It's going to be Saka, who will again go short to Odegaard. And he again gets it back. And he finds Rice, edge of the box, left-footed shots, and it's curled and away behind for a goal kick. Second effort on goal of the half for Declan Rice. This one closer than the one earlier on his weaker side, you would say the left foot, but sort of a half scramble from Rushworth across to his right, but looked closer in the live shot than it perhaps did in replay. Pensive looking Frank Lampard. Watchalong, he knew it was going to be tough tonight coming to North London. His side 2 goals down. It's not a great clearance from Rushworth. Had Havertz scrambling to try and pick it up, and it ends up going back through to the goalkeeper, who makes a better fist of the second attempt. Odegaard picking that up in the air, and a flag up against Havertz for offside. And that, in fact, is going to be the final throes of the first half here at the Emirates. Well, as we said at the time, the champions have started things as they mean to go on and continue to go on from last season. Kai Havertz on the score sheet first up, and Bukayo Saka next of all. 15 and 23 minutes, a sort of quick fire-ish double for Arsenal, who look well on top and good value here. Certainly a third goal would kill it off. Coventry have shown the odd glimpse going forward, but nothing particularly spectacular. And the Friday night football on USN in the Premier League. At half-time here in North London is Arsenal 2, Coventry City 0. See if we can fill your half-time break with some content, as the kids will say. And I'll pick up on the comment in the chat, which we have posted, that the NASCAR race on Sunday at New Hampshire has been moved up an hour. So that is a different time for you. Tonight, we continue our MLB coverage. Rays at the Oilers, 7 p.m. Eastern Time this evening. It's the next action on the network here on this very busy weekend. Matthew Owen's on the call for that one, as he will be on Saturday morning, when the second Premier League game of the weekend, for us anyway, here at USN, just across London, as Brentford take on the high-spending Tottenham Hotspur, with Roberto De Zerbi, of course, at the helm against Keith Andrews' Brentford. Could be an entertaining affair. That's live for you tomorrow, 12:30 Eastern Time. It's the 5:30 evening kickoff for us here in the UK. Also tomorrow, action from La Liga. From Barcelona, it's Espanyol against Real Madrid. Jose Mourinho, Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Junior, and all of that. That is 3:30 Eastern. Sefiv's on the call for that. Matthew is back again, second call of the day, on Saturday for the Cardinals against the Phillies. That is not confirmed. We will hope to bring you that game tomorrow, depending on weather, I'm being told in my ear. But if we have it, it'll be for you at 6:30 Eastern Time tomorrow. Cardinals against the Phillies. 2 Premier League games for you on Sunday, starting in Manchester as City start the after Pep era with Enzo Maresca at the helm. Sefiv's on the call for that game, Manchester City against Bournemouth, Sunday at 9. It's 9 a.m. Eastern Time. And the second of our USN Super Sunday doubleheader, as I mentioned, it's going to be an emotional one at St James's Park, the first Premier League game after the death of Kevin Keegan for two of the clubs that he was much aligned with, certainly here in the UK. Newcastle United against Liverpool at St James's. We'll roll straight into our Dollar Tree 301 at New Hampshire Motor Speedway NASCAR Cup Series coverage. And as you can see on screen, the new start time for that is 2 o'clock Eastern Time on Sunday. If you are also at the same sort of time, no, I'm not. If you are also looking for the IndyCar race in Washington, which is about the same sort of time, don't forget to tune over to JB Motorsports for that one at midday Eastern Time. That is a 1 o'clock Eastern Time race start, I believe. So we'll have across the USN JBM family of channels, NASCAR and IndyCar covered for you on Sunday. And then the Premier League finishes up its opening weekend in London, back in London, for a London derby. Fulham versus Chelsea. Xabi Alonso's first Premier League game for Chelsea. And Sefiv's will be on the call for that one for you on Monday at 3 p.m. And that will lead into our final MLB coverage of the weekend, which is the Cubs at the Diamondbacks on Monday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And JT telling me in my ear that the college football season kicks off on the 29th of August. So I'll get your NFL styly American football season underway. Sky doing a halftime interview with Bukayo Saka. I thought they were going to do this last season. They didn't do any, as far as I'm aware, but they're doing it now. 2-0 at halftime here at the Emirates. And Saka, one of the goal scorers here in Havertz on the score sheet. 67% possession for Arsenal in that first half. 10 shots on goal, 3 on target. And or double the Coventry passes, 301 to 151. And of course, Arsenal had 5 corners in the first half. David Raya has had very little to do in the Arsenal goal. A couple of cards, Gabriel for Arsenal and UNK for Coventry. 1 apiece. But it's 2-0 to the Gunners at the break. Let's take you through some more of the Premier League fixtures over the weekend. We mentioned that we'll have Brentford Spurs for you tomorrow. The other slate of games in the Premier League on opening weekend. Hull, of course, the playoff winners last season. They are back in the Premier League, and they start their campaign at home tomorrow against Manchester United. That's a 12:30 kickoff here in the UK. It's the lunchtime game. 3 games at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Excuse me. Everton versus Palace. Should be an interesting game. Two sides that have made some changes over the summer break. Ipswich back in the league again after their relegation, and now they've bounced back. They finished second to Coventry in the Championship last season. They are at home at Portman Road against one of the surprises of last season, Regis Labree's Sunderland. And then it's Nottingham Forest against Leeds tomorrow as well at 3 p.m. A couple of relegation threatened sides last season fighting that off, and they will kick off at the City Ground tomorrow. And as I said, that's followed by our coverage of Brentford against Spurs. Mentioned the 2 of the 3 games on Sunday, which are here on the network, which is Manchester City, Bournemouth, and Newcastle, Liverpool. There is one other game on Sunday. That is Brighton, who will host Aston Villa, the much depleted Aston Villa, it has to be said, on the south coast at the Amex. That is another of the games on Sunday. And then Fulham against Chelsea is on Monday, and it is here on USN. Again, if you've liked what you've seen, and more importantly, what you've heard in this first half here from the Emirates, be sure to like and subscribe. Please do. It helps us out greatly. And as I said, the more games, the more likes that we get, the more games of the Premier League we'll do. 5, should I say, on the slate of the 10 this weekend, which is not bad for considering I'm out for the rest of the weekend after tonight. We'll have half the Premier League games this weekend on the network, which is a great start. And follow along with us on social media, on Twitter mostly, to see what we've got coming up for you next weekend. There's EFL Cup games in the week. That's what the Carabao, basically. It's round 2. There's plenty of Premier League involvement there during the week. Crystal Palace against Manchester City starts the Premier League weekend next weekend. That's the Friday night game in this slot. Liverpool Forest at lunchtime on the Saturday. Spurs Newcastle, the evening game. Super Sunday is Chelsea, Brighton, Leeds, Brentford, Sunderland, Fulham, Manchester United versus Ipswich. And the Monday night football is a tasty one with Arsenal, who we have got, of course, here tonight. They have a week off, just over a week off, and they'll go up the M1 and the M6 to Villa Park to face Aston Villa. That is the Monday night football next weekend.
I can confirm I just went by an airport, but no Emirates planes for me.
Oh, well, there's a... Hello, Matthew Owens, indeed.
Hello.
Don't know really what to say to you because you haven't seen much of what I have, but Arsenal well on top in this first half, as expected.
No, but I did listen to every word. It's great to have you on. I know these are, few and far between opportunities, but lovely to have you on. Great to start the Premier League season listening to you, my friend.
Thank you very much. It's great to start the Premier League season full stop. Seems like 5 minutes and also quite a long time ago since all of us were watching the World Cup final while not being able to broadcast it. That was
don't remind me.
4 weeks ago on Sunday. And this
yes, and hopefully
Premier League kickoff.
Hopefully we have brought many fans from the World Cup to the domestic season.
Yes, we very much enjoyed our World Cup coverage until the powers that be stopped us from doing so for the matches that were really important. But as I'm sure regular viewers will have seen, certainly from Seth's activities over the last fortnight or so, plenty of matches coming your way now that the domestic season is underway. Premier League probably going to be our main focus league of the season. And as we said, 5 of the 10 matches in the opening weekend on the network this weekend.
So unless I missed it during my 7.5 minute spell where I was not able to be on here, have you given us your champion? Stick your neck out. Give us a champion.
It's not going to come out very far. I am going with Arsenal to win the league. And I don't see anyone pushing them. You?
Well, I'm always the one that never gets the preseason predictions right because I always do go out on a limb, very thin limb normally, on preseason predictions because you can make yourself you can make yourself fall in love with a lot of different options in the preseason, and I kind of like the idea of Chelsea winning the title. An upgraded manager, a manager that's had the off season with his team. They don't have to worry about European football and the congestion of games. And Chelsea, every now and again, Chelsea will just pop up and surprise you and win a league when no one expects them to. So Chelsea over Arsenal on the final day is what I said.
Okay, he's going all the way to the wire. That's good to know. They've made some very good signings, Morgan Rogers probably being the headline of them from Aston Villa. I expect Tottenham to be somewhat back after their sort of 2 seasons really in the doldrums after the crazy summer that they've had. Interesting to see what Liverpool do because they really haven't spent at all in the summer. Interesting to see what Man City do in the post-Pep era. You know what? It didn't go well for Maresca at Chelsea. I was going to say, when was that? Last season? But yes, it was, weirdly, at the beginning of last season before all that shenanigans happened. Not spent much at Manchester United either, but we'll see how they get on tomorrow at Hull. But yeah, I think it's going to be Arsenal, Chelsea, United as a top 3, and then maybe Tottenham.
Oh.
That would be my top 4. Get your
Okay.
comments in. What do you
Well,
think? We'll try and touch on them throughout the second half as we can. Teams are back on the field.
yeah, I will report back on Tottenham. I've got their first 2 games of the year, so I'll report back on Tottenham after I do their first 2 games and see how they look. But enjoy the second half, everyone.
Thank you, Matthew. Yes, we'll hear from you at the G-Tech tomorrow for Brentford against Spurs. Back at the Emirates, though, across London, we are back underway here in the second half. And Arsenal in possession now, going from right to left. And looking to try and put this one, as I said, to bed fairly early here. If they can. As I said, they have got the longest rest, really, of anyone, before next weekend, when perhaps Ezri Konsa makes his Arsenal debut at Villa Park next Monday. We'll see how that pans out. David Raya has the ball at his feet on his own penalty spot and will clear to Mosquera. We'll get it back. No changes for either side at half time, by the way. JT wiping his brow in a few expression because he didn't have to make any substitution graphics at half time. So no changes to either side, but you expect if Arsenal were to get a third here in the not too distant future, then maybe subs would come. Ball forward long over the top towards Saka, but flag up nice and quickly, which I love to see. I don't like it when we have to wait for a flag. It's a pet peeve of football at the moment. Frank Lampard, only the second Coventry manager after Jimmy Hill to win promotion to the top flight. Doing that, of course, last season. It got a little bit close in the spring, but they pulled it out to beat Ipswich to the title last year. We'll get to see those 2 other promoted sides tomorrow. As I said, Hull against Manchester United and Ipswich at home to Sunderland. So both of the other 2 promoted teams at home tomorrow. Ball forward towards Havertz on the halfway line. Arsenal fans on that side of the ground thought he was fouled. Referee says play on. And Coventry will come away with it here. Grimes on the halfway line has to go backwards. Finds Thomas. Across to the far side. Asante coming deep to the halfway line. Picks it up and plays it over the top. Raya out to collect that one. Rice for Arsenal finds Calafiore. It's quite quiet in the first half out of the left back position. But striding forward now, here's Solis. Goes back central. There is Skelly. About 35 yards out. Crossfield ball to Rice. He cuts one back inside to Odegaard around the corner. Got Saka to his right. Does find him. Ben White on rushing as well. Saka's found White round the corner. Pulled back towards Odegaard. Scuffed it. Oh, but it's gone in anyway. Oh dear. That's an embarrassing goal to concede for Coventry City. Odegaard with the shrug. But it's 3-0. And what was I saying about them trying to wrap this one up early in the second half? They've done that. The captain has got a goal, as he did at the weekend in Cardiff against Man City in the Community Shield. Martin Odegaard has got Arsenal's third. Relief for the Arsenal faithful. And Arsenal cruising here. Odegaard's ball to Saka down the right-hand side. He went around the corner to White. No one picked Odegaard up from the pullback from Ben White. So he hit it into the ground, Odegaard, and then the goalkeeper going one way had to get the hand across Rushworth. He got there, but the spin on the ball and the looseness of finger to it couldn't stop it. Arsenal 3, Coventry City 0. 49 minutes played. And Martin Odegaard smiles all round from the Arsenal players after that one. And a big fist pump from Odegaard just before the game gets back underway. Well, 3-0. Refereeing chat here with Kai Havertz, by the way, before we get back on the way. I'm not sure what that was all about. If you include the goal he scored at the weekend, Martin Odegaard, that's of course his second for the season. He only got one all of last season. So maybe that trip to the States in the summer with Norway was just what the doctor ordered for the Arsenal captain, but he is off to the mark pretty quickly here. Kai Havertz fouled, and Arsenal will have a free kick here. There you go, on screen, 3-0. There's the goal scorers, there are the goal times, Havertz, Saka, and now Odegaard amongst the goal scorers. JT doing wonderful work as always. Arsenal will have a free kick here on this left-hand side, about 35 yards out. Odegaard looks like he's going to try and swing this one in left-footed, and as I say that, he goes short to find Declan Rice. And here is Solis. He crosses first time, headed away by Sims, who'd got all the way back there from the number 9 position for Coventry. White, now Odegaard. Saka on the far side. Chance for him to cross, does so. It was on towards Mosquera, away by Grimes. Sims, and now to Silva. If he can keep that from going for a throw. Comes off Saka, it'll be a Coventry City throw in. On the far side for them. Matthew Owens making fun of himself in the comments, which is about standard. In towards Havertz, edge of the penalty area for Arsenal. Pulls it back, Miles Skelly with a shot. And that could have been bending in the far corner. Rushworth had to get a finger on it to tip it over. Again, just Silva robbed by Odegaard on the far side. Lovely touch back from Havertz to set it up for Skelly. And might have been going over, but needed a touch, as we saw it from ref cam, from Rushworth, the young Coventry City goalkeeper, who's been kept fairly busy tonight. Declan Rice will take the corner here for Arsenal. Deep towards the far post, headed up in the air by Grimes, and then it'll be cleared away. But only for a throw, did that go out? No. Linesman said no. Stayed in. Arsenal will have possession back with Solis on the halfway line for the Gunners. Odegaard on to White. And here is Bukayo Saka again. Running at Asante. Pulls one back to Odegaard. Everyone back again for Coventry. And the ball spins out for a throw to Arsenal. Odegaard's still trying to pump the fans up on that side, even though his team are winning 3-0. White with the throw. Havertz has it. It wasn't offside. He can't be offside from a throw. Coventry switched off there slightly. They do eventually clear. And here is Sims. And he's given, well, almost gave that away. Been an Arsenal player in the middle of the field there, he would have had a free run at goal. De Silva in the left back position for Coventry. Here is Grimes again. Sante with a neat little step over, trying to get away from Mosquera. And it comes across to this near side now, with Thomas stepping out from the back. 54 minutes just about played here in North London. Coventry trying to stem a little bit of bleeding here as they have some possession inside the Arsenal half. Trying to keep the scoreline a bit more unlike the cricket score. Of course, England victorious in the Test match today up in Leeds. I'll drop that one in. Here's Van Eyck for Coventry trying to get in from the right-hand side. Nice little touch back towards Grimes. And a left-footed cross in towards Sims. Oh, a bit of confusion between the Arsenal defenders there. Mosquera and Rice both going for the ball. They clear. Back in again. And round the corner, Van Eyck with the right-footed cross over Rice's head, but there was no one at the far post for Coventry. And Saka and Mosquera combining to clear. A bit shaky at the back for Arsenal. They still haven't got possession. It's a nice little spell this for Coventry. They're best of the game. Da Silva, I just couldn't get that under his spell. And Saka will see that out. Coventry City corner. Certainly their best spell of the game. Last couple of minutes going forward. It looks like we might be getting a lovely shot from the spider cam for Coventry City fans in that far corner as Grimes comes across the table. I thought we were going to get a substitution there, but no. Pleasing scenes for the Coventry supporters. They have waited a very long time, 2001, since they were in the Premier League, and they've been for a torrid time since then, having to play home games at Northampton. The referee's having an issue with his watch here, by the way, which is why we are stopped, but looks like we're about to get back underway. With this Grimes corner for Coventry. In it goes left-footed towards Thomas. It was headed away. And Saka's picked it up and released Havertz. And he's got Solis to his left-hand side. Havertz running at the Coventry defenders. Odegaard's coming in as well to help him out. Here's Odegaard. Ball forward towards Solis. I think he would have been offside anyway. Yes, flag was up. He kept it from going from a goal kick, Solis, because the pass from Odegaard wasn't a good one. But he was in an offside position. Very quick break, though, from Arsenal. Yeah, the story of Coventry moved to the new ground. Of course, what was then called the Rico Arena after Highfield Road. Fell out with the council, tumbled down the leagues. We're having to play their home matches at Sixfields, which is Northampton Town's ground for a time. All the way down to League Two. And then the long fight back via the Championship and back to the Premier League. Nice to have another club from the Midlands in the league, of course, with Villa, with Wolves going down. And Coventry Villa as the Midlands Premier League derby, when that comes around later in the season, will be a good one. Long kick forward from Rushworth, and Raya coming out to meet that on the half volley. I'm not sure that was quite necessary. He finds Coventry's left back, De Silva, who runs straight past Ben White as if he was stood still into the penalty area. Sims couldn't get it under control, and Gabriel clears. Thomas out to this right-hand side. Wiggling forward Coventry, but that's given away. Lewis Skelly trying to shepherd that one, and he out for a goal kick, and in turn wins a free kick inside his own penalty area. Foul on him. Getting a replay of the run from De Silva from moments ago as he just went past Ben White as if he was standing still. Sims, though, couldn't get it under his spell. Looks like there could be something in this Coventry team to do a little bit of danger to some of the lesser clubs. I'm not sure anyone would have had them coming to North London tonight and getting a victory, but almost an hour played, 3-0 down. They've had a handful of half chances, you would say, in this game. The very decent shot at their chance at goal. Certainly something to work on over the season. Declan Rice with a cross-field ball finds Saka on the far side. Odegaard. And now Havertz. No one in the middle for Arsenal. Odegaard gets it back. Skelly. Gabriel. He's well forward. Odegaard on to Havertz again. No, it's Ben White, sorry, on the far side. Gets it back, nice 1-2. Chance for a cross for Ben White. Over the head of everybody. And cleared away. Scara has it for Arsenal, just inside his own half. Now Odegaard on the halfway line. Miles Lewis-Skelly again. Probably about the sort of time we would see some substitutions, perhaps, for Arsenal now that they're very comfortable in the game. Can't quite see the touchline at the moment to tell you if there's any subs upcoming. Odegaard has it. Spins it across to Solis. Nice ball inside towards Calafiore. Checks on the edge of the D. It goes back. Oh, Solis with the shot. It took it off the toe of Odegaard. It hit a Coventry defender, and it'll be an Arsenal corner. Nice move. Calafiore involved down this left-hand side. He's been particularly quiet. Touch from Odegaard to get it under control. Solis came in and robbed it straight off him. It actually came off the hand of Matt Grimes, but nothing he could do about that, and it's going to be an Arsenal corner, for which Declan Rice has come across to take. Just over an hour played. At the Emirates on USRN, Arsenal 3, Coventry City 0 in the opening game of the Premier League season. And Rice goes short with this corner. Solis, nice ball in towards Lewis-Skelly. Try to play it across towards Saka. Probably should have got himself. And Coventry will spring away with De Silva trying to play it through the middle. Odegaard got tripped up by his own player and, in fact, wins himself a free kick. Does Martin Odegaard? I believe he was tripped by his own player there rather than the Coventry attacker, which was actually Van Eyck out from right back. And Coventry are about to make a change here. The first substitution of the season. It's going to be Caleb Uranicki off, and the big Dane, Victor Torp, wearing number 29, that'll come on in the centre of midfield for Coventry. One of their key players from the Championship last season. Gabriel for Arsenal. Now Miles Lewis-Skelly inside his own half is Martin Odegaard. Just on the halfway line, trying to direct some traffic forward. Finds Rice. Saka on the far side touchline. And Odegaard again. Over the top towards Saka. It was a nice idea, but well defended by De Silva back there. Rice has it back. Gabriel now. And Solis on this near side, trying to work his way infield. Havertz again coming very deep to get involved. His free roaming role continuing, but Arsenal lose possession. Sims on the halfway line. Gathers it under control. He's the furthest Coventry player forward, and he's being run out towards the touchline by Declan Rice. And in fact, ended up running it out of play. Arsenal throw in. Just under half an hour to play here in the Emirates Stadium. Confirmation on screen of the substitution from a couple of minutes ago. Thank you, JT. Victor Torp on for the visitors. So we're perhaps going to see an Arsenal change shortly down there as well. None of their other new signings on the bench. Of course, Solis starting. We know Konza wasn't signed in time to feature tonight. Bruno Guimaraes is out this evening with a knock from the weekend. Solis running forward for Arsenal into the penalty area. Havertz, and it's come off Thomas, and it'll be another Arsenal corner. Good move again down this near side. Solis full of running, as we saw at the weekend, and he wins them the corner. Which again, Declan Rice is taking his time here getting across the take. Arsenal will pack out the back end of the 6-yard box with players. It's a very different look to corners in the Premier League this season, so far anyway, with the grappling rule in effect. Rice with the corner. Oh, punched up in the air. by Rushworth. It was Gabriel trying to get in there. Solis with a shot from distance. It's spilled and then cleared away by a Coventry defender. Going out for a throw in, but we'll get back to the replay in a minute because Rice has it. His attempted cross, and that is going to be, I think, a throw. Now Sky will try again with the replay. That was a good save. It's a good save from Rushworth from the shot from outside the area. Steve Grizovic up in the stands for commentary. Former Coventry City legend. Legendary goalkeeper from their Premier League exploits back in the day. He's on the BBC call for the Coventry side of things tonight. Good to see him in attendance. Rice given away. And Van Eyck flying forward down this right-hand side. Nice ball into the middle towards Torp, but good defending from Mosquera to get a foot in. It's out to the left-hand side. Here's Asante. Edge of the Arsenal penalty area. Marshalled by White. Cross blocked. Come back to De Silva. He does get a cross in. And it's away by Calafiore. Only as far as Thomas. A couple of touches to control, right-footed shot. And that is going to be a Arsenal goal kick. As it spins across. Coventry absolutely enraged, thought they should have had a corner. And Raya tried to get the game back underway quickly, and the referee said, no, no, no. Grimes suggesting he heard a noise, I think, there on the Thomas shot. We're now going to get a replay and see what we think. I went through the legs of Mosquera. Didn't look like he took any deviation on the shot. So we'll get a goal kick and we'll get 2 Arsenal changes here. Declan Rice is going to be the first man to make way. Again, been brilliant for them tonight in his traditional quarterback kind of role. And Bukayo Saka is also making way. So 2 of England's heroes from the summer off to be replaced by Noni Madueke, who again was involved with England during the World Cup, and Zubamendi, the World Cup winner with Spain, on for them. Double Arsenal change. Towards Madueke from the goal kick from David Raya. And Madueke now being sprung away. Thomas across to make the challenge. To turn around, because randomly for us here in the UK, it is actually raining in the outside my commentary position. You know, it's JT, it's happening. I can tell you, it's bouncing off the window outside. Here's Madueke with Coventry defenders all round him, edge of the area, still going. And go backwards. White, Skelly, and now Calafiore. More to the point, JT, I've got to get in if it finishes soon, and I've got no shoes on. Cross that bridge in a moment, or in 25 minutes or so. Yeah, first world problems. Zubamendi. He's got a chance to cross. He goes with Solis. Back to Gabriel. And here's Miles Lewis Skelly, edge of the area, dancing feet. Finds Gabriel again. Into the left wing position. He's got 2 Coventry players around him. They've robbed him of the ball for the moment. And then Gabriel commits a foul. He didn't feel it was. Coventry have a free kick. With 20 minutes to play, and they're now going to make a couple of changes. Arsenal subs on screen as Coventry make 2 of their own. So Madueke on for Saka, Mendy on for Rice. And now we are seeing a double change for Coventry. And off has come Thomas Asante and Sims, and Taiwo Iwuni, who was at Nottingham Forest last season, is on. No, I didn't even see who the second Coventry player to come on was. It flashed away so quickly, so apologies for that. We'll get the end. player down for Coventry inside the Arsenal half. They've come away with it. And Arsenal, here's Odegaard. Went for the Sky out to update as well. Here's Madueke. Chance for him, left-footed cross, but it's over everyone's head, and it'll be a goal kick. Yeah, the guys that have gone off. We're looking at Ezri Konza, who's now taken off his Arsenal shirt and gone back to the plain white tee. Not bad. And he is watching on from up there in the stands. Signed, well, been going on a week, but confirmed today. And he is an Arsenal player. And will perhaps make his debut for Arsenal at Villa Park, as I mentioned, on the Monday Night Football next weekend. Get the substitutions confirmed for you, those Coventry changes in a moment. Here's Declan Rice. No, it can't be Declan Rice. He's gone off the field. It was Ben White. Sorry, apologies. For Arsenal, just inside his own half on the right-hand side. Just under 20 minutes plus stoppage time to play. Again, if you've enjoyed the coverage tonight, thank you. Please like and subscribe to the USN channel for 4 more Premier League games to come your way just this weekend, on the opening weekend of the season. Matthew and Seth on the calls for those. I've got 2 apiece to go with over the rest of the weekend. Arsenal in possession in the midfield. Lewis Skelly wriggling away. Zubimendi. JD's got the Coventry subs on screen for you as Madueke brings it forward, edge of the penalty area, lays one off. Odegaard, left-footed shot, headed clear from inside the area by a Coventry defender. And Mosquera wins it back. Odegaard, Arsenal fans wanting another goal here if they can get one. It was Rudoni, the other man that came on for Coventry before. So thank you, JT, for confirming that one. Sky's graphic flashed away so quick. Here's Calafiori trying to go forward from the Miles Lewis Skelly pass, but Rushworth was out to claim. I think Frank Lampard would like to see his team go down another goal here. They haven't been bad, Coventry. They've been good value for being 3-0 down. They've some chances going forward, not clear-cut ones, perhaps, but as I said in the first half, or earlier in this half, they look like the kind of team that would get something against some of the lesser teams in this Premier League. It was like the promoted teams to do well and have a bit of a fight going, especially in the early throes of the season. They have a throw here, Coventry, in a decent position on this near side, which Van Eric will take. Number 27, he throws in towards the penalty spot, headed up and away by Mosquera. And it'll be another throw in pretty much the same spot on this near side. Which will come in now. And this one's headed away by Gabriel. Arsenal clearing their lines. 16 minutes to go before we get to stoppage time. Ball forward to the left-hand side. There's Rudoni with the header. A nice little touch around the corner there, but it spins through to Raya, who pumps clear. Coventry in possession just inside the Arsenal half. It's try if they can, keep the ball here for the next couple of minutes and see if they can get one and get some sort of foothold in the game. Don't lose the half, perhaps, was part of the Frank Lampard team talk at half time. If they can even up the half here and get it back to 1-1 in the half and 3-1 in the game, that would give the Plenty of Coventry City fans in the far corner are something to cheer. They've just lost possession, have they? No, it's going to be a free kick. Well, the first one wasn't a free kick, and the second one was from Gabriel, who's got to be careful here because he's on a card. And we're going to get another substitution, and it's going to be another double Arsenal change. And another man that was well involved in the World Cup, Mikel Merino, is going to come on here. He's replacing Christian Solis, and Martin Odegaard is off for Eberechi Eze. So one of the Arsenal goal scorers off. A perennial Arsenal goal scorer coming on in Mikel Merino. And of course, he was amongst the goals for Spain in the summer as well. 15 minutes to play in North London on USN at the Emirates. Arsenal 3, Coventry City 0. Kai Havertz, Bukayo Saka and Martin Odegaard, the goal scorers for the Gunners. Ball forward over the top looking for Ainini, and it's run through to David Raya. Rolls out to Ben White, and here is Merino getting his first touch of the season. Trying to rack my brain. I don't think he featured at the weekend. If he did against Manchester City, forgive me. Certainly didn't start. He and Zubimendi, now the two Spaniards marshalling the middle of midfield for the Gunners. Another one in the goal of David Raya, who has the ball at his feet, and he clears long out of his own D. Can get Eze away? In fact, it was Medweke. Headed down, picked up by Merino. Here is Havertz. Medweke on the right side. Chops back to try and get a left foot cross in. Plays it to Zubimendi. He goes in with a cross towards Merino, cleared away. Coventry will have it coming forward with Rudoni, the substitute, number 5 on the far side, halfway line. Gives it away to Ben White. Madweke taking over. Gets it back from Havertz. Spins away. Good ball. Here's Merino. He's got Eze in the middle if he chooses to use it. Merino goes with a shot, and it's blocked. And Rudoni will bring it clear. And he clears long towards Ironi, who picks it up. Nice bit of strength from him to get away from Mosquera. A chance to just calm it down for a second. Here's Torp for Coventry. Rudoni on the far side. 5 or 6 forward here for the promoted side. Torp again. 35 yards out, left-hand side. Plays a nice ball into the middle. Grimes. Now Thomas up from centre-back. Gets it back from Van Eric. Grimes again. And it goes all the way back in the end to Rushworth in the Coventry goal. (3-0), 12 minutes to play. Plenty of changes for both teams in this second half as Coventry try to get themselves back in the game. Arsenal just giving some players a bit of game time. Coventry's next 5 games have got Hull at home, as I said, next week. Then they're away at Manchester City. And then Arsenal will get a goal kick here. Manchester City away, then Brighton at home. Forest, and then it's Forest away before the big international break at the end of September. So they would probably fancy their chances at home against Hull, you would think, next week. We'll see how they get on tomorrow. That's the early kickoff tomorrow. Hull at home at the KC against Manchester United. The playoff winners, of course, Hull City from last season, back in the Premier League. Here is Zubimendi for Arsenal. He's fouled by Torp. Referee says play on. And Gabriel has it on the edge of his own D. There is Raya. And now Ben White on the far side for Arsenal. Merino. And now Calafiori taking over. Hello to Jarek, who's been in the comments. Didn't see your message pop up before. Hello to you. Good evening, sir. Arsenal still have it with Lewis Skelly. Now, Eza. Ben White on the far side for Arsenal. Got some options here. He's got Madueke. Chance for him to perhaps cross. No, goes back inside. Arsenal just working it across the midfield here. Lewis Skelly. White. Madueke again. Up against De Silva. Plays it back to Zubimendi. Ben White's now got some space. Chance to cross right footed in towards the 6-yard area. There was a touch from a Coventry player that took it away from Kai Havertz, and Arsenal will get a throw. Right down by the corner flag, won by Calafiori, who was, of course, on the score sheet within 24 seconds at the weekend, and that, in fact, is going to be Calafiori's final involvement of the game, because he is now off. And Piero Hincapié is on. So a change for Arsenal. Hincapié is going to get straight involved and take the throw. Here is Lewis Skelly. Zubimendi. And Marino, edge of the area, goes back to Zubimendi. Is Madueke. Thought he was going to pull the trigger. Checked, finds Gabriel far forward. His left-footed drive. And it's way over from the Brazilian. Another Coventry change here as well. And it's showing at number 18 that's coming off. And Gustavo Hammer as the Arsenal change on screen. Thank you, JT. And yeah, the Dutchman Gustavo Hammer is on. Another attacking change from Frank Lampard. So he's not shying away from being 3-0 down here. Still trying to get something going forward. Pumped forward by Gabriel out of the centre-back position. Here is Hammer's first involvement up against Ben White. Tried to go past him. Couldn't. And Arsenal come away with it with Marino on the far side. Lewis Skelly for Arsenal. 8 minutes to play plus stoppages. Eza loses out. Confirmation again on screen. Thank you, JT, of the Coventry change. Here's Ben White for Arsenal. I was going to say, see the game out. I don't know if you can see a game out like 3-0, but another one would absolutely kill it off. Zubimendi. White. Madueke. Shows the options that Arsenal have got when they can bring these kind of players off the bench, and they've only added to them during the off-season. Games across the bottom of your screen. Our Premier League feast for the weekend continues tomorrow. Brentford against Tottenham at the G-Tech. It's the Saturday evening game here in the UK. 2 games on Sunday. Manchester City against Bournemouth. Newcastle at home to Liverpool on Super Sunday as our lead into the NASCAR coverage, and then Fulham against Chelsea on the Monday night football as well. Coventry clearing their lines. It's Iwanini up forward for them, running at Mosquera, and continues to run at Mosquera towards the edge of the Arsenal box. They've now got players back, and he didn't really have much option there. And they have to go backwards. Torp for Coventry now. Hammer out on the left-hand side. But here is Hammer. Rudoni. It's De Silva on the far side. Rudoni runs into Zubimendi. Coventry still have it. With Grimes now. De Silva back with Grimes again. Hammer trying to make something happen. It bounces back. Torp trying to flick one on, and Ben White was there. Back again down the left-hand side. Torp with a cross. Rudoni was there with a header coming around the back. Didn't quite get a good contact on it, and David Raya was on the spot to make the save. But a good Coventry move. Torp's ball in, and Rudoni was just not picked up by Lewis Skelly, who apologises immediately to his defensive teammates there for letting his man go. It was Hincapie coming in behind Rudoni that put him off, really. But that was a decent chance. Get off his face more than anything else. The number 5. Probably Coventry's best chance of the game. Plenty of Arsenal fans leaving already on the far side. They've seen enough of their team winning 3-0. Here's Zubimendi. 35 yards out centre of the field. Gabriel, now Hincapie. Yes, I agree with you, JT, 100%. And that was only a Arsenal ladies game that I went to, and it was just as savage. Anyway, it's a fair walk to Finsbury Park also from the Emirates. Meanwhile, Ben White for Arsenal. Here's Madueke. Tube station chat during a Premier League game. There you go. Who'd have thought that? Madueke taking over, but he loses out. And Coventry have it back. I thought Havertz was going to be onto that back pass, but they clear the lines. But Arsenal have it back again with Marino. Hincapie. Havertz out on this near side touchline. Finds Zubimendi popping it around nicely here. Marino over the top looking for Eza. Just a little bit too long for him, and it's a goal kick. Forward by Rushworth out of the Coventry goal, and Arsenal again immediately back in possession. Eza going down under a challenge. Referee says play on. Coventry have it. Thomas back to the goalkeeper again. Premier League action across the bottom of your screen, as I've mentioned. Also a game from La Liga on Saturday as Espanyol entertain Real Madrid. Saturday afternoon Eastern time. Hammer for Coventry, looking to get only locked on the far side. Coventry are going to get a free kick. It was Mosquera with the challenge. I'm not sure Only would have got onto the pass. Hammer. 3:30 Eastern, I'm being told by JT. Thank you for Espanyol Real Madrid. Might try and squeeze some of those Saturday night La Liga games in myself throughout the season. We'll see how things pan out. Tarp will take the Coventry free kick here. Chance late on to see if they can get one back. Torp, sorry, not Tarp. He will take minute to play of regulation time. In it comes towards the far post. Raya watches that go out. Goal kick. Not particularly close to any of the Coventry attackers. From the set play. Jamie Carragher on Sky Co-Coms has given Martin Odegaard the Player of the Match award. By the way, he got the third goal and was taken off about 15 or so minutes ago. So The Arsenal captain was going to come away with a goal and those water bottle shaped trophies that we get for player of the match. Ball up in the air off the head of Hammer, and again 4 minutes will be added to the end of the game. Here is Madueke trying to get forward, and it falls to Marino. Nice step over, and gets his left-footed shot away, which Rushworth was down well to his left-hand side to keep that out. That was spinning in the corner. Nice touch from Havertz, got Madueke away. And a lovely little step over from Marino. That was going in. Smart stop. Mosquera. Lewis Skelly in the centre circle. That's blocked out. Rudoni picks it up for Coventry. They'll come forward again on this right-hand side. He's Rudoni again, who had the headed chance a little while ago. Trying to ping one into the penalty box, and he couldn't chase that down. It's going to be a goal kick to Arsenal. Well, didn't expect this to be too much of a banana skin for Arsenal. And if you saw how they played against Manchester City in the Community Shield last week, they brushed those aside fairly easily. Granted, City weren't at particularly full strength at the weekend, but the Coventry City fans over in the far corner have not stopped singing all evening. And they're just happy to be back in the big time. Even if it is for one season. A bit like perhaps Sunderland fans thought maybe last season, but they were one of the surprises of the season, and Sunderland will face Ipswich tomorrow, another of the promoted teams as they travel to Portman Road. But yet Coventry happy to be back, and they've, as I said, got a chance next weekend when their first home Premier League game since 2001 rolls around, because they've got Hull at home, who they beat in the Championship last season. So chance for some good points for Coventry perhaps next weekend. It's going to be interesting to see how they get on. We have an Arsenal throw, once a bit of confusion of where the spot for it would be. On this near side from Hincapié into Eza. Falls back towards the halfway line. A minute and change to go in the game. Zubimendi. Arsenal well in control. 3 up. Havertz and Saka in the first half. Odegaard just after half time. Looking to add some cherries on top of the Premier League opening day cake here, Arsenal. Here is Lewis Skelly, centre of the field. 50 seconds to play. White, he's got Madueke outside him. He goes back inside to Lewis Skelly. Gabriel. Hincapié on this near side. Chance for him to perhaps put a cross in. Rudoni charges him down. It does go into the area, but it's well defended. And Rudoni will clear. Up towards Iwanoni. He gets tackled by Mosquera. The ball spins to Eza. Perhaps one more chance for Arsenal. They're going to get a free kick. Kai Havertz has won that. Dead centre, about 35 yards out. Time is about to expire here at the Emirates on the first Friday night football of the season, the first Premier League action on the network. As you can see, the rest of those games across the bottom of your screen to come over the weekend. 10 games in a Premier League weekend, and we've got 5 of them for you here on USN. Like and subscribe, and you'll be notified when we go live if you hit the bell icon, of course, as well. Eza with a free kick, went for a shot, try and catch Rushworth out, but it's gone out for a goal kick, which will not be taken because the referee has blown. Full time out the Emirates. Frank Lampard's first Premier League game in charge of Coventry City is a defeat. The champions of the Championship have gone down to the champions of the Premier League. Arsenal pick up where they left off at the end of last season. It wasn't a walk in the park, but it wasn't far from it from an Arsenal perspective. Kai Havertz and Bukayo Saka with a relatively quick fire double in the first half put them on their way. And man of the match, Martin Odegaard, just after half time. The Arsenal captain slipped in the third. Tougher tests await, you can be certain, for Arsenal. They go to Aston Villa next Monday for game 2. Nothing to be embarrassed about at all from a Coventry perspective. They fought valiantly and were perhaps better in the second half once the game opened up with some changes and substitutions. It's finished at the Emirates in the Premier League. Arsenal 3, Coventry City 0. And that is what it's done to the Premier League table. Thank you, JT. He's put that together in the background while the game is going on. Arsenal top, of course they are, because they are the only winners so far. Manchester United against Hull is the next Premier League action. Our next Premier League action is the Saturday evening game. Is Brentford against Spurs. But before that, we've got the Rays against the Oilers later tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time from the MLB. There is our Brentford versus Tottenham. Matthew Owens on the call for both of those tonight and later tonight, and then tomorrow at the G-Tech. Also action from La Liga tomorrow. Espanyol entertaining Real Madrid in Barcelona, 3:30 Eastern time for that one. Cardinals against Philly to be confirmed tomorrow in the on the network at 6:30 p.m. Eastern in MLB action. As Coventry City are getting a standing ovation by their fans in the corner, by the way, as this game is now finished up. Manchester City against Bournemouth is the first of our Super Sunday double header at the weekend, as the weekend continues with Premier League. That is 9 a.m. Eastern time at the Etihad, followed by a Premier League classic, because it always is, Newcastle United against Liverpool at St James's at 11:30. Those are our leading games towards NASCAR, of course, which is back, the penultimate race of the regular season at New Hampshire Motor Speedway for the Dollar Tree 301. As you can see, time has changed on that. That's happened while we've been on the air doing this game. That is now a 2 o'clock airtime on the East Coast on Sunday afternoon for the Cup Series. And then our Monday night football on Monday is from London, Fulham against Chelsea at Craven Cottage with Seth Eves at 4 p.m. And also on Monday night, it's the Cubs at the Diamondbacks, our Monday MLB action. So then it's finished up here at the Emirates. Arsenal, very good value. Coventry, no pushovers. But it's finished Arsenal 3, Coventry City 0. Enjoy the Premier League weekend. We'll see you tomorrow across town with Matthew Owens at the G-Tech for Brentford against Tottenham. For JT in the background, sterling work as always. I've been Matt White. We have been the Ultimate Sports Network. We'll see you later on for some MLB action. Thanks for listening and watching. We'll see you soon.